Living in a Frank Lloyd Wright house for 50 years cannot have helped but change us for the better, broadening our interests and enlivening our lives. The history of Parkwyn Village, which comprises 40 lots and 57 acres with some playground space in the middle and some common owned areas around, was talked about originally in about 1945 by Bob Levin and his wife Ray, Dave Weisblad and Chris, and Ann and me, as desiring some kind of a housing area where we would have more space for our lots, more playground area, and something other than the conventional rectangular lot square road arrangement. We talked about several possibilities. There was an architect in California, Richard Neutra, N-E-U-T-R-A, who was certainly very interested. Alden Dow up in Midland, who was a Wright disciple, was interested, and several other architects whom we talked to. And somehow or another we had a little apprehension that Mr. Wright would not be interested, but we always were cognizant of the possibility. So one day it seemed wise and to just call him. So I called him on the telephone. He was very gracious and asked us to come up. This was about 1947, I think. My recollection is that Ann and I, Kurt and Lil Meyer, and I think Mary Greiner and Ann's sister, who was living with us, all drove to Spring Green on a lovely fall October day. Beautiful weather. We were concerned because when we got there, Mr. Wright's secretary told us that there was a tragedy the night before. His daughter-in-law had been killed along with his grandchild. And so we said, well, we better turn around and come back home and come back another day. And the secretary said, no, he wants to see you. Work has to go on. And he did. He was amazingly composed. He was very interested. We told him we had some land. He came down, approved it for the plat, and we retained him to lay out the 40 lots in the area where it is. He loved the idea of circular lots with the interstitial areas planted to native plants like sumac, honeysuckle, red briar berries, and other plantings like that to define the circles.